I had my viewers vote in a 64-character single elimination bracket to determine the best Honkai Star Rail character. Roll the intro.
From mountain peaks, and now the echoes rise to awaken flame within eternity. Today I walk the edge of night, the golden sky will show, the crimson path will be my guide. So open your innermost mind and see, feel that beat of the road to serve, bloom in the dawn, meditation, carry the spark. Stillness and fire, spread consciousness. 1,000 paces to write them down. Rising precision, demon salvage. Hurricane faces to face the unknown. Shining lanterns through crimson night until my feet. There really I am, 1,000 echoes in one night.
The voting took place across a 4-hour stream, round by round. And before I can get into all of the goodness, I need to tell you a little bit about today's sponsor, Enjoy GM. Are you tired of paying full price for your top-ups? Well, tire no longer, as Enjoy GM is here to save the day. All you need is your UID to top up. New users will get an 8% off coupon right off the bat when they start on the site, but popular games such as Neverness to Everness have up to 23% off on their discounts. And it's not just NTE, there are several other gacha games that are supported as well. Prices may vary per region, but you are going to be getting the best price possible. Enjoy GM also supports in-game routing, so if you still have your top-up bonuses, you will get them when you purchase on site. With a high Trustpilot rating and being PCI DSS certified, it's a clear winner when you're deciding to spend money on your top-ups. If you would like to save money using Enjoy GM, be sure to use my link in the pinned comment or description to save money today. Hello chat, hello. Welcome to the Gauntlet. The tournament is officially started. We have begun, and we are starting with Firefly versus Qingque, which I think might be slightly favored in one direction. The winner looks pretty obvious to me, but I mean, we need to make sure that we give proper time. Do we just vote our favorite? Yeah, just vote whatever you want. I'd prefer if you voted for your favorite, but if you're voting to aid your bracket, then I mean, I can't really stop you. 80% to 20%. I'm just gonna put percentages on these. Most of the early rounds went like this, where the favorite won very easily. These were seeded matchups, so a lot of the first round matches were not close at all. I will play a few of the ones that were pretty close, but I'm just going to give a recap because there are a lot of matches to get through, and we want to get into the tough matchups. All right, Welt versus Himeko is next up after. I think this is the closest seeded matchup that we have, or one of them. So this might actually go either way. I don't know how you guys feel about Astral Express members, but this one I think will be a tight matchup. Personally, I like Himeko a bit better, but I think Welt is really cool too. I would be fine with either of these winning. I think both are justified to win. Also, can we talk about how sick Welt light cone art is for being like a 1.x standard character? They did not have to go that hard. I don't know, maybe Himeko will pull through because she's getting a Nova Flare, and I know some people are pretty excited about that. Himeko currently with 6-7% of the votes. It's not as close as I thought it'd be, honestly. Caelus versus Ashveil was closer than this. Welt shouldn't have been standard low-key or at least his SP. He was the only imaginary character on release too. I remember how many people wanted Welt on release because he was the only imaginary unit. It's kind of crazy to think about that they only had one imaginary character on release. Then they gave Yukong for free in the next patch because of it. Look how she's doing. Yikes. Do you relate to Welt because you two are old, Chibi? No, I relate to him because we got glasses and brown hair. He's way cooler than me though, I'm not gonna lie. Like, he looks way better in a peacoat than I do. Okay, 67 to 33. Himeko has won the Astral Express matchup, and we'll have another Astral Express matchup in round 2. between the two of them. That's super interesting. And we have a close matchup for our next one, so I'm going to leave it running while I go bring my dogs inside. We have Cerydra versus Ruan Mei. I'm actually not even sure who's going to win this. I love both of these characters. I'm going to be sad if either of them get knocked out, but one of them has to go. Two beautiful characters, and I will say, I did just get Ruan Mei's light cone, like as a portrait figure, a couple days ago. So, I love them both so much. All right, I'm starting the poll. Good luck to both. I'll be back in a few minutes. All right, I'm back. Wow, it's close. Holy. All right. That is so unfortunate for Cerydra, but Ruan Mei has won. Next up, we have two of the follow-up men against each other. We will do Aventurine versus Dr. Ratio. I think it's very clear who will win this one. For the men enjoyer out there, this might be a tough decision. And how could you say no to Bathtub Ratio? We had Bathtub Kafka, now we got Bathtub Ratio. Aventurine has 100% of the votes right now. Holy. Is that just because it just started? Is this actually just going to be a full sweep, guys? If we have a 100% victory, that's going to be so crazy. Aventurine wins with 100% of the votes. We're almost through round one, which is obviously the longest round. It will be cut in half in duration. This, I think, is going to be our closest of the remaining three matchups. We have Anaxa versus Hyacine. I think this will be close. I actually think I picked Anaxa to move ahead in my tournament, but I would like Hyacine to win. I like Hyacine better, if that wasn't obvious. Her light coat is so cute, dude. Just oozes serenity. Low cortisol. Fat fuck in the background riding the rainbow. How can you hate it? How does Hyacine not win here? Oh, she is winning. Hyacine videos were like some of the videos that first started doing well on my channel, and I really am thankful for that. The professor and his student. Hyacine has won with 55% of the votes. Mark it on here. And our first round is complete. To summarize everything that happened so far, in the first round, we had... Come on, there we go. Firefly versus Qingque, and Firefly took the win. Yunli and Black Swan, with Black Swan winning. Sparxie beat Bronya. Evernight beat Jade. The Herta beat Misha. Caelus beat Ashveil. You guys like how I did the Caelus and Stelle, by the way? I just crossed them out. Sorry, Ashveil beat Caelus. I was too busy looking at that to say it right. Ashveil beat Caelus. It was very close. Acheron beat Yangqing. Stelle beat Rappa. Phainon beat Bailu. Tribbie beat Fushuen. Sunday beat Huahue. Fugue / Tingyun beat Mini Herta. Kafka beat Moza. Evanesia beat Cipher. Robin beat Boothill. And the Dahlia beat Jingliu. And on the second half, March 7th beat Guinaifen. Himeko beat Welt. Cyrene beat Clara. Feixiao beat Gallagher. Silver Wolf beat Locha. Yao Guang beat Hysilens. That one's pretty close. Castorice beat Argenti. Ruan Mei beat Cerydra. I know, it's so sad. It's so close too. Dan Heng beat Zhao Cho. Maide beat Aglaya. Aventurine beat Dr. Ratio. 100% to 0. Jingyun beat Topaz. Sparkle beat Japard. Hyacine beat Anaxa. Blade beat Sambo. And Zila beat Lingsha. And so we are now going to move on to round 2 of our bracket. All right, we're going to start the first matchup of the second round, which is going to be Black Swan versus Firefly. I think I know who's going to win this one, but I don't know. Maybe I'll be surprised. Just the first round took 2 hours. To be fair, I let like 30 minutes go for people to put their votes in. And then I also left a few times. And the next rounds will be shorter because there's less matchups. So it shouldn't be honestly too long. I could see the stream probably going like another 2 hours max and it'll probably be done. I'm going to call this another 10 seconds. This one's not really close. As we can see, Firefly's pulling through. But I think we will have some close matchups in the second round because we've got Evernight versus Sparxie's next after this. Frick me. Okay. 83 for Firefly, 17 for Black Swan. Firefly moves on to round 3. And we will be doing what is going to be the most heartbreaking matchup for me, no matter what. It'll be Evernight versus Sparxie. Oh, I don't even want to look. Fuck me, man. Okay, I posted it. I already know what's gonna happen. My beautiful Sparxie. Well, while I don't look at the results, I'm gonna glaze my beautiful main for a little bit before she has to go. Sparxie is a unit that I didn't even really like that much at first. When she was first drip marketed, I was like, what? White-haired sparkle What is this? I did not see the true beauty of Sparxie at first. The beautiful animations, the gorgeous, gorgeous character design, the incredible references, the fantastic personality, incredible voice lines, super fun gameplay. Everything about Sparxie is perfect. And while she may lose to my second favorite character, Evernight, here, I will say that there is no better character that she could lose to. These are my two favorites. One of them had to go. But I hope that the other one that makes it past this round goes far. And now I will turn my head to see the Sparxie's losing with only 21% of the votes. My beautiful, beautiful maid has been crushed. Sparxie wins in my heart. But she does not win here today. Did you guys like my monologue, though? I feel like I did her justice. You had Sparxie going into the finals? Really? I had her losing here, I'm not gonna lie. As much as I love her, I knew she wasn't gonna beat Evernight. All right, next up we have the Herta versus Ashveil. I think that the Herta is probably going to win this round. I'd be very surprised if Ashveil wins here. Madam Herta is a peerless gem. The Herta wins with 77% of the votes. And next up we have Acheron versus Stelle. Will our sole remaining main character make it through? This one's not close. We're ending it. Acheron 81-19. That'll be a crazy matchup next round. Acheron versus the Herta. Phainon versus Tribbie. Literal hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby. I just don't see Phainon not making it to like the top 4 at least, if not the finals. Vote for Mr. Isolation. Because it's not close. And we might as well move on to the close matchups. Do we have any more close matchups coming up? Sunday and Fugue might be a little close. Kafka and even Essia might be just because of recency bias. Sunday versus Fugue. Let me get these up. I think Sunday just wins, though. Not gonna lie. Mr. Astral Express joiner. I think we have a Sunday enjoyer in chat. Maybe. It's hard to tell. Sunday beats Fugue 65-35. Next up, we have Kafka versus Evanessia. Recency bias versus one of the most popular Honkai Star Rail characters of all time. It's going to be really interesting to see how you guys vote on that, actually. Will this be close or not? Kafka's got 70% right now. Maybe it won't be close. If Eva wins, nobody has loyalty to the OGs anymore. It looks like she won't. It looks like Kafka's going to pull through. But I thought Evanessia might stand a chance. She's got a lot of fans, and, you know, Plan Arcadia is the new and cool thing. What happened to Eva? She had to face Kafka. And that unfortunately is not winnable for her. She met her match. And now for the final match of our first half of the second round, we have Robin versus Dahlia. I think Robin is going to take this one pretty easily. Very popular character. A lot of people like her music too. I kind of grew sick of her songs over time, but I liked them a lot when they came out, so I understand the appeal. Welcome to my... I have in-game music turned off because of Robin. Because I used to always play her, and I did not want to listen to the song every single time I ulted. And I think that is completely justified. Wow, this is a lot closer than I thought. Why is this close? Wait, what? All right, I'm gonna give it another 10 seconds. These votes are bouncing back and forth quite a bit, but 10 seconds is my cutoff. If you haven't voted yet, make sure to get your vote in now. 52-48, Robin wins. And now we will move on to an Astral Express showdown. Himeko took out Welt, and now she is up against the poster child of Honkai Star Rail, March 7th. But I know there's a lot of Himeko fans because Himeko has been one of the stars of Plan Arcadia, and she's getting an SP form very soon. So it'll be interesting to see how people vote here. My money's on March, but we will see what happens. This looks close. I gotta let the close ones ride out to let everyone get their votes in. Oh, Himeko has pulled a lead over March. Wait. Oh, and March, it's tied again. Holy. It looks like Himeko might actually win this one. Wow, that is crazy. I did not expect that at all. I had March going super far in my bracket. My bracket's cooked. All right. And for our next round, we have Cyrene versus Feixiao. You guys don't vote for Cyrene, I think Lexi will probably come to your house. Oh, sorry, Feixiao. It's just not going to be close. It is not close, yeah. Cyrene wins with 89% of the votes. This should be interesting. We have Silver Wolf versus her best teammate in Yao Guang. I'm going to pull the poll up for this one, and I'm going to run real quick to check on my puppies while I do. All right, what's it look like? Silver Wolf has won with 61% of the votes. I'm going to call it now because I've been gone for a while. So our anniversary main push will move on to potentially fight the anniversary main push of last year, because our next matchup is Castorice versus the Cerydra killer Ruan May. I don't think this will be close. I think Castorice will get some revenge for Cerydra here. Beautiful, beautiful light cones on both sides. I absolutely love the Ruan Mei light cone figure that I got. It's so pretty. I love Ruan Mei, but she's not beating Castorice. Rest in peace, Ruan Mei. You put up a good fight, but Castorice will take this one with 80% of the votes. So we will have Anniversary main push versus Anniversary main push in the next round. And I said my dogs were being good. I just heard one stand up and to go bark at something. Hopefully my mic doesn't pick that up too much. All right, Dan Heng versus Maide. The Battle of Men. He's a great character. He's one of the Astral Express members. It's hard not to love him. He's going to avenge March and maybe fight Himeko at some point because Himeko did beat March somehow. I don't understand that still. That is so crazy to me. That's probably the biggest upset we've had here. Is Himeko beating March 7th? At least Evernight's still in it. Hi, yes, I'll have both at the same time. Rich, that wasn't an option. Now, why would you go and say that? Mr. Dan Heng has ended my day. Next, we'll have Aventurine, who got 100% of the votes last round, versus Tingyun. Will Aventurine continue his flawless streak? I am going to assume no, but that would be crazy if he got 100% of the votes again. It'll make me seriously reconsider how I voted in this because I don't think I had Aventurine going that far. Yeah, he's not at 100%. Okay, he's not going to get a full sweep. No, Tingyun is better. I like Aventurine better, I'm not gonna lie. I like the story quite a bit. He's a well-written and well-designed character. And I do love gambling. I do agree with you. End poll, 76% for Mr. Aventurine. All right, next up we have Hyacine versus Sparkle. I know who's gonna win this. But, oh, rest in peace. Well, rest in peace to Hyacine, because I don't think she's winning this one. But it'd be very cool if she did. I think Sparkle easily goes on, though. I think I voted for Sparkle to go on. In fact, I don't even think I had Hyacine in this round, I'm not gonna lie. I was surprised she even beat Anaxa. Wait, Hyacine's winning? Chat, are you based? What? I did not think Hyacine would beat Sparkle. What? I'm glad that there are so many like-minded individuals here that believe in Hyacine's supremacy. Oh, neither Sparxie or Sparkle makes it past the second round. That's so insane. All right, I'm gonna let it run for another 10 seconds. I mean, it's not really close. So, dang, wow. Hey, shout out Hyacine though. Holy, I was about to be so sad. I was gonna have to mourn the loss of one of my favorite characters, and here she is just pulling through anyways. 68-32. Hyacine moves on against Sparkle against all odds. Now that, I think, is the biggest upset so far. I never in a million years would have thought that Hyacine is beating Sparkle. Is that just recency bias, or are you all just actually based? Like, what? All right, well, we've got our last round matchup here for round 2. We've got Blade versus Zila. I think Blade wins, I'm not gonna lie. Especially because I'm about to put the abs up on screen again. I think Blade clears for fan service. Wow, blue versus red, literally. Except I have them on the opposite sides. I look kind of nice like that, though. I like the contrasted colors. I go feral every time I see him. Yeah, I'm not even, like, into dudes, but I will admit this is pretty attractive. 83-17, Blade absolutely decimates Zila. And so we have finished our second round of matches. See, look at how much faster that was in the first round. It'll get even faster now. We only have 8 matches now, and then 4, and then 2, and then 1. So to recap, round 2. Firefly beat Black Swan. Evernight beat Sparxie. The Herta beat Ashveil. Acheron beat Stelle. Phainon beat Tribbie. Sunday beat Fugue. Kafka beat Evanescia. And Robin beat the Dahlia. And then we had Himeko surprisingly beating March 7th. Cyrene beat Feixiao. Silverwolf beat Guang. Castorice beat Ruan Mei. Dan Heng beat Maide. Aventurine beat Tingyun. In the biggest upset I've ever seen, Hyacine beat Sparkle and Blade beat Zila. And so now we are moving on to round 3. And it's going to just keep getting even more and more intense because these matchups are going to be close. All right, in our first matchup of round 3, we have Firefly versus Evernight. This is going to be pretty interesting, in my opinion. I am very curious how people will vote for this because I think that, you know, Firefly is the most popular character in this game. I don't know if that is shared amongst my viewers, and I think there is a lot of love for Evernight. So I actually do think Evernight is going to pull through and win this one, in my personal opinion. But I have been wrong before, and so we will see if Firefly wins or if Evernight wins. My first ever E6 S5 character versus one of my favorite E6 S5 characters. Oh, this is another tough matchup for me to watch. I want Evernight to win, but I'm going to look now and see that she is currently in the lead, but barely. Wow, this is a close one. How is Evernight winning? Because Evernight is her. Evernight is such a good character. So freaking cool. I love Evernight. but it is very, very close. 52 to 48, 51 to 49. I'm gonna let this one run for a while because it's tied right now. I want to make sure we get every vote in here. It actually is just straight up tied. What do we do if we tie? Oh, but Evernight's back in the lead. Oh, now it's tied again. All right, I'm ending the poll now. It ended in a tie. Holy. I wasn't even looking when I hit the end button. I just clicked it when I hit the timer ran up. Okay. I didn't mean to end it on a 50-50. Okay, what do we do? Chat, give me ideas. What do we do? Break the tie with my vote. You guys already know what I'm going to vote. I'm going to piss off half the people here if I do my vote. That's the problem. I'll tell you guys what I'm going to do. I'm going to set a timer on my phone. I'm going to set a 30-second timer on my phone. When it hits 30 seconds, it ends. Whoever has the most vote in 30 seconds wins, okay? We're doing a speed run poll. Vote to your heart's content. I'm starting now. I need to make sure I'm actively checking this, though. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Evernight wins. Wow, that was so close. Shout out to Firefly for even bringing us to our first tiebreaker. Shout out to both of them. That was crazy. Rest in peace, Firefly lovers. Evernight has moved on to the quarterfinals. Next up, we have another very, very tight matchup. This is honestly going to be another close one, I feel. We have the Herta versus Acheron. I'm going to let this one run for a while as well, like I did with the last one. Dang, that was so close. That is crazy. I think the Herta will win this one, I'm not going to lie. But this is two very, very popular characters with very dedicated mains that play them despite some difficulties. Acheron's getting some love now, though. I think the Herta has this one in the bag. Madame Herta wins with 67% of the votes. Next up, we have Phainon versus Sunday. I think this is pretty obvious who will win, but I know there are a lot of Sunday lovers too, including one very vocal viewer in Sarah. Battle of two very popular men. Phainon versus Sunday. Here we go. I'll be back in a minute. Yeah, I'm back. How'd it go? Yeah, Phainon won. Nobody's surprised. 80% to 20%. Final match for the first half of this round. It's going to be Kafka versus Robin. This was going to be interesting, actually. But Robin is not as popular as Kafka, I think. And then Kafka wins. We will see, though. I'll let the doggies back outside on the fence. They're going to have more fun. And then I'm probably going to put them to bed. You're objectively wrong if you don't pick Kafka. I wouldn't say objectively, but I do think Kafka wins. And it is done. 77 to 23. Not 33. That'd be 110. Math's hard. It is time for Cyrene to take the stage yet again, as she will battle against the Astral Express killer, who has taken out 2 Astral Express members already in Himeko. I think that Cyrene wins this one, though. I think Himeko's reign of terror is over. Cyrene will get revenge for March's untimely demise. Himeko, although she did beat Welt and March, will fall victim to Cyrene's tirade. 73 to 27. Silverwolf versus Castorice. Anniversary main push versus anniversary main push. I think Silverwolf wins, but I really don't know, actually. Castorice could, if Castorice won, I would not be surprised. I'm just thinking recency bias might take the lead here, but dang, this will be close, I think. Or maybe not. Maybe Castorice just wins it. It's looking like Castorice might just win it. Wow, that's surprising, actually. I thought Silverwolf had some more motion than that. Recency bias is not taking the lead here. Sparxie and Silverwolf in the finals. Rach, I think your bracket was already cooked when you had Sparxie in the finals. Cass versus Cyrene. Yeah, it's probably going to be next because we are not seeing Silverwolf take much of any ground here. In fact, it's just getting worse for her as the votes continue to pile in. And this, I'm going to put her moving ahead. I need to go see what my dogs are barking at. I'm going to have to take like an extended, like maybe 5 or 10 minute leave here to see what the heck is going on and probably just put them to bed. But let me start the next round real quick. I'm sorry I've had to take so many leaves. It's just they're very active tonight, it seems. It sounds like they're fighting, which is why I'm kind of annoyed. I don't like when they fight. Heng versus Aventurine. Okay, I'm sorry for the extended delay. That should be the last one. Heng won with 67% of the votes. Nice. We'll move on to our final round, which is Hyacine versus Blade. Hyacine did make a crazy win last round against Sparkle. So will she do it again against Blade? I actually don't know. Wow, this is actually closer than I thought it'd be. Hyacine's winning. Wait, holy. She's doing it again. Guys, we just have Hyacine lovers in chat. Oh my gosh. First Sparkle, now Blade. I'm gonna end this in another 10 seconds. It looked like Hyacine has the win here, which is crazy. I never expected her to do this. This is like the miracle run. Did anyone have her going this far? 60% of the votes for Hyacine. She will move on to the next round. I don't think she'll beat Dan Heng, but I didn't think she'd beat Sparkle, and I didn't think she'd beat Blade, so maybe I'll just be wrong again. And so with that, to recap, Evernight, who had to beat Firefly in a tiebreaker, the Herta beating Acheron, Phainon beating Sunday, and Kafka beating Robin, and we had Cyrene beating Himeko, Castorice beating Silverwolf, Dan Heng beating Aventurine, and Hyacine beating Blade. So we are down to our final 8 characters in the gauntlet, and only 4 will emerge from this round. So our first matchup will be Evernight versus Herta. The Herta. Hyacine's in your final 2? Dang, I did not put her that far in mine at all. I had her lose in the first round. Anaxa. Alright, this is going to be another close matchup, I feel. Evernight versus the Herta. If Evernight can beat Firefly, I think she can beat the Herta, but we have a lot of the Herta fans here too, so this will be an interesting one. Maybe another tiebreaker scenario, who knows. 2 beautiful women. Who will prevail? Evernight is in the lead currently. I would expect her to win this, honestly, after beating Firefly. And also just my personal preference would be for Evernight to win this whole thing. Both of these are already gone in your prediction. You voted out the Herta and Evernight. Dang. This could have easily been the final if they were opposite sides. It could have been. I don't know. I think Phainon's going to make it really far, though, too. Evernight does beat the Herta with 57% of the votes. It was actually pretty close, but Evernight does move on yet again. Evernight is in our semifinals, and we will find out who joins her next. Phainon versus Kafka. I am thinking that Phainon does win this, but man, this is going to be a close matchup. Or it might be. Who knows? These are 2 very popular characters, I feel, on very opposite sides of the spectrum. I personally prefer Phainon, but we will see how this goes down. And it is close, so we will let this one sit for a while and let the votes come in. Phainon currently does have the edge, though. She gave us life. She did do that. You cannot forget that Kafka did give us life. Phainon is maintaining a lead here. He's just that guy. He is so cool. Everything about him is cool, and he's such a selfless dude. He endured so much. Literal opposite sides of the spectrum for you? Favorite versus least favorite? I know. But like genuinely, they are just opposite sides of the spectrum, I feel, in terms of characterization. All right, 10 more seconds. And Phainon has won with 55% of the votes. So he will move on to the semifinals to face off against Evernight. And we have 2 more quarterfinals to get through, because next up, this one might be danger for Cyrene, because it is Cyrene versus Castorice. The anniversary main push of Emphorius versus a very, very important Emphorius character. God, I can't talk tonight. Holy shit. How am I supposed to cast this? Okay, whatever. I'm starting the poll. I'm just mad now. 2 very beautiful ladies. Who will prevail? Ooh, this is very close. Okay, we're gonna have to let this one run for a bit. Close as expected. 2 very popular ladies from Emphorius. Castorice has a very slight lead at the moment, but will she maintain it? Who will we see tomorrow? Upset of the century. It's close. I think it's really close. I don't think this is much of an upset in either case either. Both of these characters are so popular. And now it's tied. Cyrene has pulled into the lead. How much longer should I let this run? And Cyrene wins with 51% of the votes. Very, very close matchup. We are on to our last matchup, because we have Dan Heng versus the absolute menace who has been taking names, Hyacine. Somebody that I did not expect to make it nearly this far in this tournament. And if she wins here, I think she could probably make it all of the way. The 2 sustainers of Emphorius as well. It's almost poetic in a way. Here we go. Will Hyacine continue her streak of upsets, or will she finally meet her match? I don't think she is going to beat Dan Heng. I'm not going to lie. But I said that about Anaxa. I said that about Sparkle. And I said that about Blade. And she beat all 3 of them. So will Hyacine yet again take another name? Somebody that I expected to go far in this tournament? Or will Dan Heng prove that he is the better sustain of Emphorius? And it is close, and Hyacine is in the lead. What happens on a draw? Last time we had a draw, I started a timer on my phone for 30 seconds, and I ran the poll again for 30 seconds flat, and just whoever was in the lead when that timer ended was who won. That being said, though, Hyacine actually has a decent lead here, so she may maintain it, but we'll have to see. I'm going to leave it running a while longer because it is in the 50s, so it is close. Hyacine ruined the meta, and now she ruined the tournament. I am shocked she has been making it this far. Votes are remaining a bit stagnant. So I am going to call it in 10 seconds. 1. And Hyacine, unbelievably, has beaten Dan Heng 57% to 43 and goes on to the semifinals to take on Cyrene. Guys, I would just like to point out, all 4 of our finalists are Crisis Heirs, and 3 of them make up the pink team, with the 4th being eliminated just last round. To recap, Evernight beat the Herta. Phainon beat Kafka. Cyrene beat Castorice. And Hyacine beat Dan Heng. And so for our 2 semi-final matches, Evernight will take on Phainon, and Cyrene will take on Hyacine. And we will start off with what could have been the match of the finals. Evernight versus Phainon. My second favorite character in this game versus the one that I picked to make it all the way. Wait, I just picked Evernight twice. I'm stupid. It is not even looking close. Phainon is quite the lead at the moment. Really cool that we got all 4 characters to be Crisis Heirs. I thought for sure we'd have a Plan Arcadia character in the final, just from like recency bias. But it does look like Phainon may take this one over Evernight. My beautiful Evernight, I'm sorry. I think you have finally met your match. Phainon blew it out of the water. He's amazing. Yeah, he's a great character. I'm amending the poll now, and Phainon wins 54 to 46. And Phainon will be our first finalist. One last semifinals match to find out who our finalists are. We have Cyrene versus the character that nobody saw coming, except for Kit, apparently. She saw this coming. Hyacine has made a miracle run through our bracket, defeating the likes of Blade, Sparkle, and Dan Heng. And now, head-to-head, we have the 2 strongest supports in the Remembrance archetype. 2 incredible characters that are essential for many teams. Hyacine versus Cyrene. Will Hyacine have yet another upset, to which at this point, I don't even know if it could be called an upset? Or will she finally meet her match and fall victim to Cyrene's tirade of absolutely running through this bracket? We find out now. Here's the poll. Hyacine does take an early lead, but it is very close. It is extremely close. Wow, we are tied at the moment. This is crazy. I never expected Hyacine to do this well. I'm so proud, though. Both these light cones are so pretty, dude. So colorful. I love the light cone art in this game. Hyacine is currently in a 1-vote lead, and it is now tied yet again. It's so close. This is so close. It just keeps going back to tied. But Hyacine keeps pulling the lead. I have not seen Cyrene take the lead yet. All right, I'm going to cover my eyes and hover over the end poll button. And I'm going to end the poll in 20 seconds, okay? I'm counting in my head. And when I click this button, it will end and we will have our winner. Whoever it is, I can't even see who it is. I am just clicking the button when the timer runs out in 3, 2, 1. And Hyacine has beaten Cyrene 52 to 48. I am speechless. The absolute miracle run continues as Hyacine makes it into our finals against Phainon. And there is only 1 round remaining. Absolute unstoppable force of Hyacine. And now we will have the final matchup of the Gauntlet in 2026, where we will have Hyacine take on Phainon. This is going to be an interesting matchup because I would have never expected Hyacine to get here in the first place. Phainon, I feel like, was a no-brainer. I picked him to win the entire thing. Bailu, easy matchup. Tribbie, easy matchup. He's just beating up kids at this point. Sunday, starting to get into tough matchup territory, but still a clear, easy for him. Kafka. Now this was the first time I thought maybe he doesn't do it. But he beat her anyways, because he is just that guy. And then he took on Evernight, a fan favorite that still fell victim to Phainon, who has made a very monstrous and dominant run. But on the other side of things, Hyacine. Of all of the characters in this bracket, I never expected Hyacine to make a run to the finals. Beating Anaxa at first, I was like, yeah, that's a little surprising. I didn't expect her to win that. And then I was like, well, she's against Sparkle now. She probably doesn't win that. But she did. And then she beat Blade. She beat Dan Heng. And she beat Cyrene. And she is in the finals against Phainon, where she is finally trying to show us that she could win the entire thing. And so now it is up to you, the viewers, to determine whether or not Hyacine will complete her story and make the miracle run of a lifetime, or if Phainon was always truly meant to win this bracket. There is only one thing for you to do now, and that is to vote. The poll has started. Let the showdown commence. And for this very special matchup, I am starting a timer on my phone for 2 minutes. When the timer hits 2 minutes, I will end the poll no matter what it is at, and we will have our winner. It's so crazy that Hyacine made it this far. I'm like stun locked. I can't believe it. I can't believe she's in the win right now. I can't believe she's in the lead right now for the win. She has just been pulling through time after time, and it just really makes me think maybe she was meant to win this all along. Is there any character at this point that she could lose to? If she can beat Phainon, I think she can beat anyone. But our first minute is almost up, which means there is 1 minute left for this to turn around, and it is very close. If you're not voting Hyacine, you skipped the 3.3 cutscene. She was incredible in the story, but so was Phainon. They both had very incredible roles, and I will say that I think story-wise Phainon does beat her as much as I love Hyacine. However, it is looking like you all disagree because Hyacine is continuing to take more and more of a lead. Kit, I can't believe you predicted the finals correctly to be Phainon versus Hyacine. She knew something we didn't. You refuse to accept this? I'm as shocked as you are. And we have hit 2 minutes, which means I am ending the poll, and this means that Hyacine is our Gauntlet champion with 56% of the votes. To my surprise, I'm sure to many people's surprise, I did not expect Hyacine to win the entire thing. But congratulations to Hyacine and to Fat Fuck for winning the entire tournament. And now I guess my dedicated showcase is going to go to Hyacine, as she has won the entire tournament. What a crazy run, by the way. I still can't believe it, honestly. Phainon lost. Like, what? This is unbelievable. I'm not upset. I love Hyacine, but what? Really?